Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. My name is Artemis, and welcome back for another video. Today, what we're going to be doing is revisiting our Hippie Hideout remodel situation that we have going on. And this is going to be part 2 of the video. And in this one, we're going to be redoing, like I said last time, the first floor and the patio out front. I really like how the patio turned out. It's a cute little hangout space, and like I genuinely would want to hang out like outside and like do a nice barbecue out there. But also the kitchen, the living room, there's a communal bathroom situation, which I tried to make look nice, given that it was a little bit like tight quarters, if that makes sense. And then there's also a bedroom down there. So hopefully you guys enjoy the build. I think it turned out really nice, but again, feel free to let me know what you guys think. And yeah, we're going to be doing the same style as last time, where I just talk us through the build as we go, even though it is technically, I guess, a speed build. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy my content here. And don't forget that you can also come and hang out with me on Twitch. We stream most days of the week, mostly Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at this point at 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you do want to come and hang out and get to know me better, that is the place to do it. But I won't do the weird voice this time and say without any further... Oh, I just started doing the voice. Without any further ado, let's get into the build, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we are just gonna head back into the build. And I think the first thing that I really wanted to take care of after replacing the terrain paint that, you know, went a little bit missing last time was focus on some lighting outside. So I really enjoy nighttime, like, landscapes, if that makes sense, and having like beautiful glowing lights and fireflies and I don't know, just like a more of a fairy aesthetic. So am I gonna say aesthetic a million times again this time? I'll try not to. But anyway, I just went ahead and lit up the entire path. I really love looking at lights at night and looking at the house at night and being able to see, you know, different areas on the lot that I would personally want to go and hang out on. So that's what I ended up doing here, and I ended up lighting up the entire patio by the end of it as well. The patio is actually going to end up being a pretty nice hangout, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. We'll have a barbecue out there, a picnic table, and some other stuff. Decided to add some lights to the garden area, more so just for like the feel of things than anything. I ideally wanted to hook some like lanterns to the top of the fence, but I didn't end up liking the way that it looked. So I went with these guys that are just like tucked into the corner. Just in case, you know, you're doing a little midnight gardening and you want a little bit of light to guide your way. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna plop the barbecue out here and just make like a nice little hangout space. I thought, you know, if we're doing a commune or like a compound kind of a situation, then we want to be able to have a space for people to hang out outside and not just be like 4 people. Like 4 people can probably sit at this picnic table. But you know, like when you think compound, you don't think 4 people, you think a little bit more than that, right? So yeah, so I wanted to make enough spaces like outside that felt like individual but cohesive at the same time. So I wanted it to be colorful and fun and inviting. And I think we were able to get there. I brought back the bubble blower from the original build. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the original build had a bubble blower and a fire pit outside. So I said, you know what, let's try and incorporate those items out here and see what we can do. And also just like make use of the cute little toadstools that came with cottage living. So I wanted to use those as well and try and just make it feel like nature met some hippies, or hippies met some nature in this case, I guess. That's kind of what I wanted to be reflected here though, and I think I was able to do a decent job in just adding like flowers and little bits and bobs around here. I ended up really liking the way that the yellow flowers and like the sunflowers, like the yellow flowers in the window boxes, and the sunflowers on the table, the yellow flowers in this little barrel here, and just like bringing in the color scheme just a little bit more, while still incorporating the blues. So if you guys remember from the last video, I did mention that we would be picking up a little bit more of the blue inside. So that's what I kind of was trying to do here too, is just start bringing it closer to the house, because the house right now is very yellow and very green. So just trying to find little places that we could start incorporating the rest of the color schemes that like I kind of wanted for the house. So here is the other space that I wanted to create. I figured another picnic table kind of fits the vibe. I'm not 100% sure if Sims will be able to get to that back bench that's up against the fence, but I'll play test it and I'll let you guys know. I think they should be able to from the side, but I just can't remember if the interaction is like from the back of the bench or from the side. So I'll test that out and I'll let you guys know. Figured some like rocking chairs would be pretty nice out here. You know, I don't know, a nice relaxing space if you want to do your cross stitching and your knitting and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so we're just gonna go around, put some plants, put some decorations. I think I end up putting this beautiful pattern on the ground as well. And I kind of just wanted it to take up space at first. And then I said, no, you know what? Let's put the fire pit here. So I end up putting the fire pit in the middle, put some more cushions around it. And there's a good amount of like seating out here now. So we've got 2 picnic tables. So that's what sits 8. We've got all the bubble blowers. So that's 12, right? Yeah, 12. 2 cushions, 14. And now we're going to have the fire pit too, which adds another force. Like you can sit 18 people out here, which I think, you know, is more compound vibe than anything before. And like not including the rocking chairs. Not that you can have that many people living on a lot without mods, but if you have a party and you have people coming on over, put some flamingos out front, and that's a shout out for our friend Veer. But yeah, so again, like I said, lighting is a big part of what I like to do with decorating. So I said I kind of want something cute, but also want a little bit more of like the compound vibe. So I ended up going with like those more industrial looking lights. They clip a little weird with the fence, but I think it ended up looking okay. Maybe, I don't know. More fairy vibes going on over here with the pond. I'm a very ADD builder. Like I'm really realizing that now, going back and like looking at everything that I've ever built and paying attention to how I actually do Sims builds. I'm pretty all over the place. Like I don't just do one room. I like to like zoom around and feel the build, if that makes sense. Like feel out how the lot lays and how your sim would walk through the actual building. Like I stopped to think a lot about that and how stuff is actually playable, or if it's actually playable or not. But yeah, so I ended up adding the laundry stuff out here, as you guys can tell, as I'm blabbering on about random other things. I ended up adding the laundry stuff out here. Like I had mentioned first video, or well, the first remodel, that I wanted this lot to be able to just like be self-sufficient. So laundry I felt like was necessary, but I also didn't want to put the machines inside. Because to me that felt counterintuitive. It's like, oh, okay, like you can have washing machine and dryer. You can have a washing machine and dryer, but like you also need more solar panels and stuff like that to be able to have that luxury. So instead of going that route, I said, you know what? Now do your laundry by hand, hang it outside. You'll end up saving on power, and it feels a little bit more true to like the theme of the build. Just went ahead, changed some colors, added some shadows here and there. I really like the look of that. I think I mentioned that last time too, which I just really like terrain paint, and it makes me mad sometimes by disappearing. But that's okay, because we overcome our challenges in life, right? I'm just adding this garbage bin here because those of you who have played through a little bit of cottage living, you will know that when you're cleaning your animals' coops and barns and things like that, your sim has to go and throw garbage out. So I ended up putting a bin in there just so that if you end up downloading this off the gallery and you're doing a playthrough or something like that, you have a garbage there and you're not like fighting and like having to go and put in another item, so that your sims are not walking all the way inside carrying this garbage. If you didn't know that that was a thing, that is apparently a thing. Put a garbage close to your animals because there's poop that has to be cleaned. But yeah, so I wanted to test out some of the greenery that also came with cottage living. So that's what I'm doing here right now, and just kind of see, trying to see like what I can do with it first of all. So this was my first time fiddling around with some of the items and how everything would look stacked upon each other. So I kind of wanted to do like a climbing vine. I think it turns out really, really cute, but I will say this. I put a sim into this house and I went to go and try and like take some cute pictures and stuff like that. And I started the game in spring. Oh, what a mistake that was. What a mistake that was. All of this greenery completely disappears until a little bit later in spring. So if you have seasons, spring like affects all of your plants on the lot. Just in case people don't have seasons. I'm just gonna say that. But anyway, so I loaded up this lot and all of the greenery was gone. And I was like, oh no. Because I thought, oh wait, did I like not save this? Did I forget to turn on move objects? Like, what did I do wrong here? And I look and I'm like, oh no, it's just spring. It's just spring and all the greenery is gone. Cool beans. So, needless to say, that didn't end up working out for what I needed it for, because I was trying to take some cute pictures for you guys, but it didn't work. But yeah, so I think it looks nice if you're playing in summer. Like, I'm pretty sure summer is like the highlight of the vibes for this compound, because it does have a lot of outdoor space, like just regardless. But yeah, so I ended up liking the vines. I think they look cute, just maybe not in spring. Oh yeah, and all the lavender had died too. Oh man, that was tragic. I loaded up the game. I can't even tell you. I was so sad. I was so sad. But that's okay. It's fine now. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so I just decided to add some more plants to the front of the house. I had mentioned earlier, and I gotta stop saying that, guys. I had mentioned earlier though that I love lavender and like love it in real life, but also love it in Sims. So I think this is the point where I went a little bit like lavender mad, and I just threw lavender everywhere that I wanted it. It kind of feels nice like in the build. Like, I think it looks good in the end. It is a lot of lavender though. And like now looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, all right, you went hard with the lavender there. And this isn't even the end of the plants. Oh my god, wait until we get into the last the last edit of this, or last remodel of this house, I guess I should say. And I put more lavender. Spoiler, no spoiler, but like there's more lavender involved. This is the part of the build that I feel the most silly about. Out of everything. I'm sure there's other things that you guys could say that I did was super silly, but this is the thing that I feel the silliest about. That pole on the back of that silo. There actually is an item in Sims that is not a debug, that is not a column, that just exists in the game. That is actually a pole that would have extended and looked way better than what I ended up doing there. So if you download this off the gallery, I would like maybe go and change that out for that actual pole. Personally, that's me personally. I would. In fact, I'm probably gonna go and change it myself anyway. Actually, no. I'm going to change it and then upload it to the gallery. But maybe after our final video for this is released. I think it'll be a 3-parter, by the way. I think the last few recordings that I have can be put all together. It might be like a 34-ish minute video instead of like under 30 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Finally worked my way into the house. Took us long enough to get inside and show you what we are working with and what I had in mind. So I wanted to keep these half walls, I guess, or 3/4 walls inside of the entrance, just to feel that that was actually like an entryway. It was also part of the original build, and I think that it was like another like shout out to the original build. We end up chopping this main floor into quite a few little sections. The most difficult part for me, I think, had to be the bathroom. I think like I personally really struggled with doing the rooms that the toilets are in, and you'll see in a little bit when I get there. I just struggled. I'm not even like, I can't even sugarcoat it. I enjoy how everything else turned out. The bathroom I might want to revisit. Yeah. Anyway, starting our kitchen up, I definitely wanted to showcase a little bit more of the cottage living pack, and I wanted to use some items from there. I also really enjoy the country, or not country, I don't know, I don't remember what it's called, and I'm not about to like misname another pack. But one of the kits that has like the kitchen stuff, I think it's Country Kitchens or something like that. So I really like the cabinets that come from there. And I said, you know what, let's try and see what we can use in here. With sticking with the color schemes too. And see, that's the thing, is like, I really enjoy all of the new colors that come with this kind of stuff. Like all of the pastel blues and pinks and yellows and purples and greens, and I really, really like that. And I think that all of the colors work really well together. So I like having, like, especially for a build like this, I like having a clash of colors. Like, I don't want everything to be all one color. I don't want everything to be matchy-matchy. Like, some things I want to match, don't get me wrong. But some stuff, I'm just like, no, let's like clutter it up. Let's add some fun colors and see what we can actually like get going on here, just to make it look more interesting. So I end up fighting with these cabinets, at least like in color choice, for a bit, for quite a bit. And I can't remember if we end up with the blue or the yellow, but I think we end up with the yellow. Oh, or maybe we end up with the green. We might end up with the, no, I think we end up with the yellow. But I didn't do the blue because of the pink. I wasn't a big fan of those pink curtains. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, especially with the pink chairs. I was like, no, too much. Yeah, see, okay, I went back to yellow. I think I even paused recording this and sat there staring at this kitchen for a good 10 minutes, being like, oh God, I don't know what colors I want to do this. So I spared you guys a little bit of the indecision, just a little bit, but yeah, the dining room area was pretty fun to build, actually. Like, at first I was getting a little frustrated with that tight little corner, because I was like, oh yeah, I can totally do like seating for 6, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, no, didn't end up working out that way, but I think I like what I ended up doing here. It feels like something you would see in real life. Like, if you're walking into a compound, or just even a house that has a lot of people living in it, and like people of all ages and whatever, like walks of life, I feel like that yellow chair in front of that cabinet is something that would happen in real life. And it would be like in the middle of dinner, you'd be like, oh, excuse me, like, do you mind moving? Because like I need to get something out of this like bottom cupboard. So that's why I did that. Like, I could have figured out a different way of like configuring that little space, but I ended up really liking how like cluttered. Is cluttered the right word for that? I don't know. I ended up liking how like cluttered it ended up looking. Which is also what we're doing here, just like adding some clutter items to the kitchen. I really like the new items that come with that kit, the kitchen kit, and of course cottage living. Like, there's some really good decorative items, different ways that you can clutter up everything. So I liked those items. Oh, I like those jars. Okay, that jar at the back there, I love that you can have it be like coffee beans or like wheat or sugar or whatever else can like go in those jars. I kind of wanted to like do a lineup of all of them, but it was going to take up too much counter space, and obviously, like, I want this build to be functional, so you're going to need counter space for your Sims to be able to prepare meals. So yeah, that's why I ended up not cluttering it maybe as much as I could have. Maybe in the future I'll just like do a build where I don't worry about it being playable. I worry about it being just like super beautiful. Maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure. It's not normally how I build, so we'll see. Maybe I'll test myself. Oh, these little fairy jars are also super cute. Or fairy light jars, whatever. I don't even know what they're called. But I think they're really cute, and I want one of these in real life. I I guess I could just get like fairy lights and shove them in a jar, but I feel like it being attached to that wooden like plank is so pretty. Feels like a DIY, but better. Like a DIY that you buy from Michael's already made, you know? uh, but yeah, so I ended up keeping, I think the small, okay, here. I kept the small blackboard because I still wanted it to feel like you could come into this kitchen and like whoever's in charge of the meals that day has like written what there is, and like everybody is like taking turns, or even, you know what, like putting, okay, like I'm in charge of dinner for like Monday to Sunday, or like not Monday to Sunday, Artemis, what are you talking about, like Monday to Tuesday or something, right? Or different chores that people are responsible for, and stuff like that. Like I just really wanted this to feel functional but also like lived in, like already lived in. I don't know at what point I come back and paint down here or like put wallpaper, but this kitchen ends up looking pretty different by the end of the build. Like in terms of where things are, it stays pretty much the same, but in terms of like colors, like I go and like tweak a bunch of stuff after. But yeah, here I'm just dividing up the space, and you'll start to see the living room, bathroom, and bedroom start to take shape. So I kept the yellow color scheme on just this wall, and I brought over some of the items that just like had clipped to that wall and we had just dragged it out. Came to look upstairs just to see what I was like working with and like what I could fit. So upstairs we end up having a few more bedrooms, and so I had gone back up to see what kind of space I was working with and like how many more beds I should be able to like fit down here, because ideally like this house should be able to house like the maximum 8 Sims without mods, right? So I wanted to make sure there was at least like beds for every Sim. Upstairs we end up doing a kids room as well, just in case, you know, like somebody's got a kid. It's a compound, right? Like a bunch of different people living here. So we end up doing a kids room upstairs. This bathroom, like I said, I fought with it. Bear with me, the camera angles are going to be a little bit wonky as we go and like do the paint in this room. I end up doing, not paint, like I end up doing a bunch of tile, because I felt like if I was going to put showers or a shower here, it couldn't just be one, and I didn't think the space was big enough, and like didn't want to take that other bedroom to just turn this entire area into a bathroom, because that was my first thought, was to turn this entire like corner into a bathroom, like these 2 separate rooms, have it just be one, and have, you know, like maybe 4 toilets and a couple of showers that like have their own rooms and stuff. But I ended up using the showers from Snowy Escape, I think they're from, and these ones will actually like let your Sims shower around other Sims. So I thought that that was nice, like to be able to have that item to rely on, to be like, okay, you know, like this can still have a commune compound vibe, but will also be functional. So tiled up the entire situation, because I felt like it should be tile if you're all going to be like showering in this area. So bear with me again. Like I said, the camera angles are about to get a little bit wonky, especially when I go and try and paint the inside of where the toilets are, and try and see like to put toilet paper and like little clutter items in there, because I didn't want to leave it like barren, right? Like I just didn't want to leave it as like an empty toilet room and then have your Sims go in there and just be miserable, because you know that they're gonna be miserable and they're gonna complain about the decorations and say this room is not decorated well, thank you very much. But yeah, so I decided to like try and put at least something in there. I think we only ended up with toilet paper though, so if your Sims are grumpy while go and pee in that room, my apologies. My apologies. But yeah, just adding some extra stuff here. No bathroom is complete without a mirror. We end up leaving that lantern there, I think, on the counter. I can't remember if I added toothbrushes and stuff like that to this bathroom, or I think I might have saved it for the one upstairs. Yeah, I think I saved it for the one upstairs. But yeah, apparently I have ADD and we're gonna come and like build in the kitchen now. Like I said, I have an interesting way of building, and I just do me when I build. Is anybody else like that though? Like, Am I the only one that jumps from room to room to room when I'm building, or are other people like this? Or are you the type that's like, okay, I'm building the kitchen, I finish the kitchen. Like the kitchen has to be completely done, decorated, painted, head to toe, I'm not coming back to it. Like what type of builder are you? And do you even like building in The Sims? Like I'm assuming if you're watching a building video, you might like building in The Sims, or you're just here to hang out with me, which like, I appreciate that. But if you are a builder in The Sims, please let me know. Please let me know what style builder you are. If you're like me, you ADD around, or if you focus on one area until it's complete. But hopefully that's not too distracting for you guys. If it is, I can try and like improve upon that. But I kind of enjoy going to do something as I think about it, because sometimes I find that I'm working on a room and I remember an item that I want to put in another room and I just go back and do it. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up including this like little snack bar area. I thought it was kind of essential to have. If you have a bunch of people living in one house, then you're gonna want snacks, right? Like everybody's gonna want coffee and tea and ice cream and popcorn and all of those fun things. So I said, you know what, let me like make use of this little corner. And instead of putting, I originally was going to put in like some more seating, like benches or something, like bench seating, and like a little coffee table, which actually, ooh, that could have looked really cute over there. Now I'm kind of sad I didn't do that. Maybe, ooh, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, it's not what we ended up with. So we'll move on. But yeah, I ended up putting like a fun little snack bar area there. I think it's like a good vibe for the kitchen. Mind you, if you end up wanting to download this and you don't have like the movie Hangout, you could just like rip out that entire section and put like some bench seating in there. And I still think like with a coffee table, that could be like a really, really cute hangout area. And maybe just move like the tea or the coffee to one area, something like that. So I think I finally like decided, okay, like we need to change up the color scheme that's happening in here. It's like pretty plain and simple for somewhere that's supposed to feel lived in, right? Like I don't want to just have bare white walls like we did before with like that one yellow pop wall, or focus wall or whatever they're called. What are they called actually? I don't know, focal wall? So I decided that, you know what, let's get some fun colors going in here. Let's get some different flooring. Like we're remodeling the house. Let's like completely change stuff up and take advantage of all the new items that, you know, we just, you know, got to spend some money for. But yeah, so that's what we end up doing here. And I like the bedrooms having something a little bit more whimsical. So I end up using the little mushroom rabbit wallpaper. Even upstairs, I end up using that in the kids' bedroom, and I think it turns out really, really cute. So you guys will have to tune in next time to see that. But just a little spoiler. But yeah, again, the goal of having a bunch of people being able to sleep here was basically what I'm gonna fight with in this bedroom. So I wanted to keep the double bed because I feel like that double bed is something you see at like a cottage. I don't know about you guys, but like I would go to like my uncle or like great uncle's cottage during the summer as a kid, and there was one of these beds like that, the cast iron screechy wobbly old bed. So I kind of wanted to have that double bed in this build, and I do bring it back. I know I end up bringing it back at some point. There it is. Because I just like the vibe just fit and I had to. Like it was just one of those things that it felt so personal, like to me, as a human. So I decided to put it. Now I think the Sims team ended up fixing the bug where your sim wouldn't roll to the other side of the bed. So I think now you can actually have double beds up against the wall, which is why I put that there. You did see me move it a little bit because I was trying to debate whether or not they had fixed that bug, and I think they did. But yeah, again, goal of sleeping as many people as possible in this room with still trying to make it like be cute. And then that way, even if you have Sims like staying over from like a party or whatever, or like a party of the fun sort, I don't know. Then you have multiple areas for people to like crash or just hang out, or if somebody's there and wants to go take a nap or whatever. Um, but I still wanted it to feel like a cottage, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Cottage meets compound. I don't know what I was thinking when I came up with this, but I kind of love it. I kind of love it. Like, this room feels like, oh, okay, let me go, like, turn the radio on, listen to the rain against the window panes and stuff like that. But I like this room. It's cute. It reminds me of, like, a cottage that I used to go to as a kid, and I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I debated putting a TV in this build at all. So originally I thought maybe I'm not going to put a TV. Maybe I'll put more like knitting items and cross-stitching items and things like that, like other non-electronic entertainment things. But I decided against it because I feel like if this is a more modern hippie compound situation, then it would be nice to have a TV. Like, even if it isn't like the biggest or fanciest TV, at least there's like a TV on the lot, and you can do like a little movie night and you can have people come and hang out. Like, I didn't do a lot of seating for the TV area because I didn't want it to be like a big distraction. Like, I still wanted it to be an area that Sims could just hang out and read a book still, instead of like just focused on TV. So eventually I do end up putting a bookshelf, and some other items. Like, I do put the cross stitch thing. I think I put the cross stitch. Maybe it's knitting. I think I did the knitting stuff down here. But yeah, this is basically going to end up being a nice little activity room, some easels, a nice little painting area, and things like that. So hopefully you guys like the way that this turns out. But let me know what else we could have done with this area. And if you were visiting a friend that lived on a hippie compound, what kind of activities would you want to see in their like activity room? Because this entire room was supposed to be focused on activities and not just TV, and not just any one thing, if that makes sense, right? Like, I wanted it to be a little bit of everything, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun. But yeah, let me know what activities you'd like to see, like in real life. Also, I guess in The Sims, but real life compounds can be fun, I guess. Maybe, I don't even know. But yeah, just fighting with the layout of this room at the moment, from the looks of things. So I'll let past Artemis fight with this room, because I remember building this and being like, oh, none of this looks proper. Like, I just want it to look nice. Please just look nice. But this is kind of coming closer to the end of this video today. You'll see me add in some nice like little clutter items and things like that. But this is pretty much going to be it for this video. I think the living room is the final area that I ended up working on. And just adding some like final details outside. Like, I remember putting the woodworking bench, and like, I think that's a woodworking bench. I put a bench of some sort outside, and the cross stitching in there, but I think that was about it. I do end up coming back and adding some more things in this room. Like, I know I add some newspaper under the easels there. It's just going to be in the next video. So the next video will consist of a few things. And yeah, I'll tell you about that in just a second. Okay, maybe that was more like a millisecond, but y'all know what I mean. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We are going to be continuing this build, and I think it's going to be one final video, and we're going to go in and do the complete overhaul of the upstairs, all the bedrooms that are up there, and there is going to be another bathroom. It's more of a full bathroom instead of being like the more compound bathroom that we have downstairs. It's definitely like a one person at a time bathroom. And some bedrooms upstairs. So that'll be in the next video. I go through the entire build and add some final touches and like little details and stuff like that. Just that's the way I like building. I like going in and doing like a once over of the house. And just kind of saying, okay, you know what, a little bit here, a little bit there, you know what I mean, a little bit of fun times. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys in another video coming soon, hopefully next week. It's looking like Wednesdays are going to be a good regular day for video upload, so hopefully I can stick to that and push out some more really awesome stuff for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you think of the video. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ding the bell if you want to get notified every time that I like upload a video. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Anyway, thanks friends. Have yourself a great day. Bye.